Megan, and we're cooking with the bells! Better every time. Yes. So what are we making today?
Alright, so we're going to start off with a margarita. A margarita-inspired cocktail. So I'm just going to start with a little bit of salt in my plate.
I'm just going to open these tortillas so we can weigh down this 10-pool pan.
And then I'm just going to line glasses. Found out what.
And if you're not a fan of salt, you can actually line these in sugar as well.
Yes.
Which is really fun for if you do any kind of kids party with like a punch or something, you could line their glasses with a colored sugar that's really festive and fun.
That one went better.
Beautiful.
All right. And then this cocktail is actually Mocktail is actually pretty simple. We just have some lemon lime soda of your choice. I'm gonna fill it up roughly halfway. As always, exact measurements will be on our website,
Which is linked down below.
and then we'll top it off with orange juice. And like always, if you want less orange juice, more orange juice. I should have opened this off camera. Ha ha ha. Success. Now that I think about it. Just in case. It says it's just straight 100% juice, but you never know.
Right.
And you can also juice your own oranges for this. I just did not have any good oranges at my store, so this was the safer option.
Yeah. And you could use orange juice with pulp, without pulp. It's really up to your personal preference, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I made a mess.
That's why we use non-fabric tablecloth. It's easy wipe up. Excuse our mess.
Okay. And that's it.
How easy was that?
I know. The other way you can do this, if you really want, is you can do lime juice with some simple syrup and then add in your orange juice. But this way is just so easy.
Sometimes it's better just to have the easy thing.
So,
cheers.
cheers.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. Delicious.
I think I personally would prefer a little more lemon lime soda and a little less orange juice, but you might be right.
But
personal preference.
it's very true. It gives me kind of like a what is the orange juice cocktail that's not margarita.
Mimosa?
Yes, it's giving me some mimosa vibes because of it is a little orange juice heavy. So definitely adding a little more lemon lime soda.
I'm gonna try something. Don't look.
So we are making chicken enchiladas today. We're actually doing it two ways because I am dairy free. You might have noticed if you watched any of our other episodes that I completely avoid dairy. So we have a nice dairy free vegan cheese, and then we also have a Mexican style 4-cheese blend that is Monterey Jack cheddar,
Asiago? Sure.
and quesadilla cheeses. Sorry, I will butcher all of those names by accident.
We're doing our best.
Not great at pronunciation. But normally at the grocery store, you can find a nice, it'll say like Mexican style or taco style blend.
And honestly, if you have a cheese blend you prefer, you can use any cheese you prefer with this as long as it melts well. That's really the only requirement.
And I think that saying that, I think if you're picking out a vegan style cheese because you're dairy free as well, you should also look for one that melts well because they're not all created equal. And I'm actually going to use mozzarella style on mine today. And then we also have just a jar of salsa verde. This is a 16 ounce. It's a mild. However, you can also pick this up in, I believe, like a medium and a hot. If you're just looking for like a green salsa. And then we have
a whole rotisserie chicken that we have deboned. So we typically just buy the rotisserie chicken at our supermarket. Yeah, already done. Don't have to deal with it. You are more than welcome
if they're
to
in
cook.
stock.
Yeah. Not us making the 7 a.m. runs. Hey, your first round should have came out. But that just makes it easier.
Super
you don't have
easy.
to cook your whole chicken beforehand. You just shred a chicken and we're off.
Yeah. But also, if you can't find a rotisserie chicken, you can also just throw some chicken breast in the Instapot and find a recipe for that online. You're just really looking for cooked chicken that you can shred.
Yes.
That easy peasy.
Yes. If you really want to put in the effort, you can go back a couple of videos and we actually have a spatchcock chicken that we cook on the smoker that would honestly be really tasty for this.
For sure. And you can find that recipe on our website below and it'll be linked.
All right.
Let's get started.
To the races.
So what is our first step here?
All right. So the first thing I typically do is I take some of the salsa verde.
Okay.
And I just put a little bit in the bottom of the pan. We really are going to learn to open things off camera
For
one
sure.
day.
And
avoid the bloopers.
And honestly, to tie my hair better because, it just, sorry about that.
So it'll be about, depending on how big your pan is, ours is a 9x13 and we're just using the tin foil for easy cleanup. So we'll use about that much, which is about a quarter of a cup, honestly. And we'll just layer the bottom fairly well, avoiding one spot. There we go.
It always does that, right?
And then, do we have a spoon? No. Magic cat while I run get a spoon.
Okay,
And we're back. All right, so what I do, in there, I've seen similar recipes to this online where they mix all the salsa verde, except for what you need to reserve for the top, which we'll show you in a minute, and their cheeses into the chicken. But since we're doing kind of a half and half, so half of it is dairy free, don't really want to do that for obvious reasons. And then I've also just found this to be easier and a little less messy than having everything mixed together. But do what works for you. So we're gonna take a spoonful down the tortilla. That's not how you say that. That's okay.
We literally couldn't say the names of these cheeses. It's fine.
And then just a small handful of chicken. Like so. One more piece right there. And then a little bit of cheese on the inside. So do you want to do dairy free first?
Yes, that way we don't cross-contaminate.
I love it. And you just do a little sprinkle inside so you have some melty cheese inside. And then we're just gonna fold up our two ends. My mom always called them the two butts.
Like almost like a burrito trying to keep all the filling in.
Yeah, fold it in half, squeezing nice and tight, and roll.
Beautiful.
And then we're just gonna set it right there. And then it's just kind of rinse and repeat until...
So you're adding tortillas and chicken?
Yeah. Or pans.
Whichever comes first. If you have leftover chicken and you still have some salsa verde, These make great nachos.
Yes.
And quesadillas. Well, I guess you wouldn't have tortillas you're out of tortillas, so you can make a quesadilla. But if you have leftovers and you happen to have leftover tortillas and it's the next day, quesadillas.
This is pretty much when I went to college. This is what I made anytime I had leftover chicken because it reheats well. I wouldn't butt them together like this. I would keep them separated, and then I'd put them all in their own little tinfoil packages. And then I'd either just throw it in the oven to reheat, or I'd plop it on a plate and throw it in the microwave, depending on where I was. And I'm just using roughly half our cheese, because we're also going to top it with cheese. So then,
also personal preference there, because if you don't like anything to be overly cheese heavy like her dad,
yeah, we'll usually leave like the last two on the end. We put just enough cheese on top so that it's not dry, like it doesn't dry out.
And if you like it a little warmer, you can also add like some diced jalapenos in with the chicken, or you can actually, after they're already baked and everything, you can add that on top. I actually like a little jalapeno relish myself. I know that's probably a little odd because it does have that sweet hit to it, but I'm definitely like a sweet and savory person. The possibilities are really endless. You can top these with all sorts of things after they come out of the oven. Cilantro, avocado, salsa that's not our salsa verde, but just like the regular traditional red.
My favorite thing to do is squeeze a little bit of lime and sprinkle fresh cilantro on it. But I also understand not everyone loves cilantro, so
I like a little bit of yellow diced onion I don't like huge chunks of it, but just like a little bit like you would a street taco. That and some cilantro and a little jalapeno relish.
I've had to be getting mouth-watering over here.
Well, I've had to become a little bit more creative with my toppings these days since I am dairy-free these days and not doing, like, used to, I would load them up with a lot of sour cream and more cheese but
we were cheese-loving fools.
Yes.
We have learned. Alright, so this is the last one, and as y'all can see, our pan is absolutely squashed full, but
a little bonus.
Okay, so now what we're gonna do, I have to keep this pan oriented right so I don't get it confused.
Oh, yeah.
Is just gonna spoon a good spoonful on top of each enchilada. I mean, if you want a lot of salsa verde, you can also just drown them. For me, this is the way I've found to get just the right amount.
And if you're not a fan of salsa verde, you can also get like the can of red enchilada sauce and do the exact same thing with it.
Yes.
And they also make a green enchilada sauce that's about the same thing, but I feel like this is a little bit thicker, so it sticks onto the tortilla a little better in our personal experience. So that's why we typically go with like a jar sauce.
Yes. All right. So now we do our cheeses. So I'm just gonna carefully do my two. I'm gonna do the two on the end and kind of like half do the one in the middle because I don't care if I end up with some vegan cheese. I do not want to accidentally give Megan cheese.
All right.
Perfect. So now this is going in a 350-degree oven, and it'll be in there for probably about 20 minutes is usually how long I leave it. Everything in these is already cooked, so it's just a matter of getting everything warmed through and all of the cheeses melted is really all you're doing with the oven. So if you're camping, you could easily tinfoil this and just put it on your campfire, put it on your smoker, put it on your grill, and just leave the lid on. Because like I said, everything in this is cooked. You're not going to accidentally give someone undercooked chicken or anything like that.
And I mean, how easy is this to put together and do for a weekday?
Oh, yes. And it stores, like, if you make it like this, cap it really well, it stores really well in the freezer for about 3 months.
Yeah, or you can, if you have time on the weekend, you can put it together and just pop it in the fridge. That way you can have it for Monday night dinner. No need to thaw because it's just in the fridge, and then straight to the oven when you get off work.
Perfect. All right, so we'll see you in about 20 minutes.
Bye.
Bye. It's been about 30 minutes.
Give or take, yeah.
We've popped off our orangey drinks.
Mhm.
Put some more lime in them. Definitely
cheers.
makes it better.
Yes.
So here we go. You can definitely tell the difference between the real cheese and the vegan cheese, but I promise you, if you need to use vegan cheese, whether it's dairy allergy or personal choice, it still tastes delicious.
They're delicious. Got to go in for just another quick bite here. They're
Mhm.
nice, warm.
They're fresh out of the oven. So the tortillas and the parts of the tortillas that you can see they're still kind of exposed get like nice and crunchy. But that mixed with the soft tortilla, the chicken that's like stayed moist just because it's with the salsa verde and
Yes.
the cheeses.
And we are in Texas, so it's definitely a Tex-Mex enchilada.
For sure.
I said like one more bite and then had like 3.
Same. It's okay. Ooh. I'm gonna put the fork down.
Yeah, I should probably put the fork down and step a little bit away. I don't get to have enchiladas very often, like when we go out to dinner anywhere, because they are typically cheese heavy and actual dairy. So this is perfect and absolutely wonderful.
Yes, it's so. And I think the thing about it is, it really is that Wednesday night meal. You're exhausted. You don't have any time. Like, you just get a rotisserie chicken, shred it, slap the 4 ingredients together, and throw it in the oven.
Yeah, and I mean, it's filling, it's warm, it's nice, it's an actual home cooked meal.
So
Eat it just with some
leftovers are
shortcuts.
good.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect for lunch the next day if you have leftovers.
Yeah, for sure. But I think that's it from us today. Like always, if you liked this video, you'll learn something, or we somehow ended up entertaining you, make sure to hit the like button down below.
And if you want to see more from us, please think about subscribing to our channel, and you can hit that down below as well. Also, the link to these recipes that will take you directly to our website will be down below as well. So,
See you next time.
bye!